There's been an interesting bit of news coming out of Yellowstone National Park this month, and according to some, it's a sign of good times to come. A white buffalo, or bison, has been born, which is a good omen according to Lakota traditions. It's quite the rarity, with white buffaloes occurring only once in approximately 10 million births. By the way, actual footage of a white buffalo is pretty darn hard to find. These are AI illustrations. To see actual photos of the little fella, look for the links in the video description below. Photographer Erin Braaten captured images of the new arrival on June 4th, and now many visitors to the park are hoping to catch a glimpse of the calf for themselves. In fact, the Buffalo Field campaign will be hosting a gathering in the park to celebrate the arrival of the young bison on June 26th. The timing of this event is interesting, as the plight of America's only continuously wild bison herd is also at a crossing point in terms of how the population is being managed. The National Park Service recently released the final environmental impact statement for a new bison management plan at Yellowstone National Park. This plan outlines different ways to manage the bison in the park based on new science and changes over the years. It also looks at how to transfer more bison to Native American tribes and continue working closely with tribal nations and other partners. The main goal of this plan is to keep a healthy population of wild bison that can move freely while addressing issues like disease transmission, human safety, and property damage, and fulfilling responsibilities to tribal nations. The National Park Service is looking at 3 different options for managing bison. Alternative one would be to keep things mostly the same, following the current Interagency Bison Management Plan from 2000. This would keep the bison population between 3,500 to 5,000 after calving. It would also include coordinating hunting and trapping to control the population, relocating more brucellosis-free bison to tribal lands, and working with Montana to manage the low risk of disease spreading from bison to cattle. Alternative 2, which is currently the preferred option, would manage the bison population to be between 3,500 to 6,000 after calving. Focus on using the Bison Conservation Transfer Program to restore bison to tribal lands and allow tribal treaty harvest and public hunting outside the park to help control numbers. Alternative 3 is to let natural processes, bison movement, and public and tribal hunting in Montana be the main ways to control the bison population. This could result in a population of 3,500 to 7,000 or more after calving. The National Park Service says this new plan aims to balance the needs of the bison, people, and the environment while respecting the traditions and agreements with tribal nations. And it has been met with preliminary approval from many interested parties. This management plan is based on science and allows for bison to move freely outside of Yellowstone's boundaries and into tolerance zones in adjacent national forest lands, said Chamois Anderson, Defenders of Wildlife's senior representative for Rockies and Plains. Smartly, it also includes increased capacity for the Bison Conservation Transfer Program, testing bison for brucellosis and transporting healthy animals of high genetic value to tribes across the U.S. On June 7, 2024, the Notice of Availability of the Final Environmental Impact Statement was published in the Federal Register. This action initiated a 30-day wait period, at the conclusion of which the National Park Service will sign and publish a record of decision, which will outline the selected action chosen. Bison used to roam the American interior by the millions, but by the early 1900s, settlers and the U.S. military had almost exterminated the species. The roughly 5,000 bison now roaming Yellowstone National Park are the descendants of only 24 individuals. Here's hoping that the arrival of a white buffalo is indeed a good omen for the future of this legendary ambassador of the American Wild Kingdom. Don't stop here. Find out more. Visit the links in the description below for more in-depth information on the stories presented in this video.